I can't believe it. It's really working. It's working. At least it should be.
Welcome to the All Western New York Radio Network.
What the fuck are you doing?
Buckle in, strap on, and get ready.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I break your concentration?
The time has come.
Just tell me where the fuck you want us to go.
It's the Noah's Ark Show. All right. Yeah. Woo. With Noah Gilkey, your host, Eyeballs, and your co-host, Kyle,
Planet Nutsack.
George,
Not much of an artist, more so as a performer and just a general idiot on stage. So,
and Joe.
You know, there were 5 of us last week. Now there's 4 of us. It's like we had a hand and we cut off a thumb.
Oh!
No, you didn't.
Oh, no, you did! Oh, shit.
wow.
What did I say?
women and children are going to be involved, and dogs are going to be, sodomized, and it's going to be a terrible evening for everybody. So,
Welcome. It's nice to have you here. I'm so glad you could come. This is going to be such an exciting day. I hope you enjoy it. I think you will.
Yes!
Ha!
Did I make it in time?
You did. You just caught the tail end.
Oh,
you made it.
fantastic. All right.
You made it.
Good evening, folks. Thank you for tuning in, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Noah's Ark Show. Thank you for joining us. We are back.
We're late, but we're back.
We are late, and we're back. We had a few weeks off as the Hindenburg exploded here in the studio.
You're lucky you got me here because I've been keeping everybody up to date on our Facebook page.
That's true.
Facebook.com/Noah's Ark Show.
Fantastic.
Not just Noah's Ark. If you put in Noah's Ark, you're going to get some schmuck who had animals or something. I don't know.
Oh, you have been keeping the people posted. Thank you, sir.
I have been. That's my job around here.
Whew. I'm out of breath. All right.
My other job around here is to ask you how much fun you had at the Bills game the other day.
Oh, it was a blast. It was so fun. The first half actually was really fun. And then the whole Spiller fumble right on the goal line there. And you had to know, I think, right at that point, if you're a Bills fan, you know that was the end of the game right there. We should have just left, really, right then. Shouldn't have stayed for halftime, the rest of the game. Should have just left. Right as soon as he fumbled it on the one, you got to know it's all over.
Oh, of course. I mean,
as a Bills fan, you know how to read these omens over time. You know, you could be up 53-2 in a game. Something horrible like that happens before the end of the half, you are losing this game. And as a Buffalo Bills fan, you also know that there is a good chance you could lose any game. It doesn't matter how far ahead you are.
Yeah.
It does not matter the scenario. You could be up by 4 touchdowns with 8 seconds left in the game. You will lose the game. Only the Bills can make this happen. They have perfected losing.
Actually, speaking of Buffalo teams being able to lose and lose handsomely, I had Kevin Sylvester on Board Hockey Fan last week.
Yeah, how'd that go?
That went pretty well, actually. Kevin was a real great guy. I've actually been reading his new book. It is called The Married Man's Guide to Golf. It's available in ebook format from iTunes, Amazon, and Barnes & Noble.
Oh, very nice.
Really entertaining. I've been reading chapters here and there. I got through, I think, chapter 5 today on the way here. But we had Kevin on, and we talked a little bit about 1999. Foot in the crease there.
Oh, yeah. Who could forget? Another classic moment in Buffalo sports history.
And I would like to announce to point out that on BoardHockeyFan.com we are right now announcing the brackets for our Ultimate Hockey Fighter tournament. I think Rob Ray's going to take the whole thing.
I think Razor jumps out to a big lead in that. He's an early favorite.
We did the whole thing by random number generator, except for 2 guys who were specifically chosen to be in opposite brackets, and those were Rob Ray and Ty Domi.
Of course.
So we're looking for we're looking for anybody that wants to get in on this to jump in and give us your thoughts on each bracket as it comes up, each matchup we have.
Some of the greatest brawls in hockey history, I think, between those two
Oh,
gentlemen.
absolutely. And I'm really looking forward to this series of articles and being able to participate in it. And anybody can participate. You just go to our website, boardhockeyfan.com, and you just pick your favorites as the articles come up and give us a reason why.
All right.
I asked Kevin Sylvester, and Kevin Sylvester said, I said, without getting yourself beat up by Rob Ray.
Yeah, he works with Rob Ray. He has to say Rob Ray.
He said, well, besides Rob Ray and Andrew Peters, who I also work with, because those two are the best. He actually gave the nod to Tony Twist, and I don't think Tony Twist actually made our list. So
I don't even know who Tony Twist is. Enlighten me.
According to Kevin Sylvester, he broke Rob Ray's jaw once. So I guess that's a good enough reason as any for the guy to be
Broke
nominated.
Razor. So apparently Razor would have
Razor
voted for Twist.
Razor would have voted for Twist, I think.
Interesting.
All right.
I actually, my voice is still shredded from the game. Still.
Oh yeah,
yes.
if we would have been here last Wednesday, you probably wouldn't have heard me because I was actually at WWE SmackDown last Tuesday.
Ah.
Made TV a few times. My seats were right on the aisle where the wrestlers were coming out.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah. Not bad. I got them the previous Thursday on StubHub. I paid $156 total for 2 tickets on the aisle.
What do you do when you get on TV with the wrestling crowd? Is there a specific maneuver that you're going for there, or?
I think the highlight for me was when Sheamus, the World Heavyweight Champion, was coming out. I got on TV slapping hands with him, so that's my highlight.
Nice.
So you see me coming when Wade Barrett's coming out. You see me. I'm on my phone. I had just taken a picture, and I'm checking the picture.
So you reviewed the tape on this one.
I did. I made TV a few times. I also made the web show they have, WWE Superstars. And they filmed a couple of matches for their Saturday morning kids show, Saturday Morning Slam. So hopefully I'll be on that too.
Very cool. Let's see. I'm trying to get the let's get the jazz going. Here we go.
I didn't get to watch the Bills game. I didn't see if you made TV at all. So
Didn't watch it, huh? Well,
well, that's when we do the wrestling podcast.
I
so.
see. I
So
see.
George and I were both busy while the Bills game was on, but we were keeping track of the score. We saw the Bills were up at halftime. And then we saw the monumental collapse.
Yes, monumental is the only way to describe it. I like my Facebook profile picture right now because it's a picture of me right after we scored the touchdown to make it 21-7, and you can see right in the top corner just a tiny little shot of the scoreboard that says 21-7. That was the last moment of glory for us Bills fans. People of Western New York, you know my pain well.
Oh, yeah, I do see that. I didn't notice that before.
I think the level of frustration with the Buffalo Bills this year has reached a new low. I was going to say high, but I guess a new low. Every year, everybody's pretty upset. But this year seems different because it's like we actually have a team now. This shouldn't be happening. It doesn't make sense. Everyone's jumping ship. Everyone is quitting the Bills
Well,
now.
that's what happens every year. And I'm sorry to say it. I mean, I was talking to a bus driver yesterday who is a Boston Red Sox fan. And me being the fair weather Yankees fan I am, meaning I only watch baseball if the Yankees are winning.
Right.
I'm making fun of them because the Yankees have been beating the Red Sox. So, I mentioned to him, I said, hey, what happened to all those Red Sox fans that started coming out when the Red Sox won the World Series a few years ago? They all disappeared. It's like when the Bills are winning, you see everybody's in Bills coats. I mean, I'm thinking to myself, listen, I'm a 49ers fan living in Buffalo. They're playing next week. And I'm wearing this Niners hat proudly. I've seen like maybe 1 or 2 people in Bills stuff, and it's because they were coats and they were cold. It wasn't because they were proud of their team.
Well, I would say that I'm not a fair weather fan. I'm with the
I know you're
Bills,
not.
win or lose, mostly lose. But I'll tell you what, I'm not usually a baseball fan because I'm an A's fan. And being an A's fan is sort of like being a Bills fan, where you feel like you're kind of a minor league team. You're sort of like a farm team for the Yankees, which sucks because you never keep any good players. But the A's are in the playoffs, my friend.
Indeed.
Go Oakland. One of my teams knows how to win, and it's the
fact,
one
the,
from California.
In fact, the Yankees are playing for the AL East tonight. If they win
That's
tonight
right.
or Baltimore loses, the New York Yankees AL East champs again. If
Right.
neither of those things happen, they have to play the Orioles in a one-game playoff to determine.
That's right.
So,
But the A's in on the wild card,
congratulations
which
to
makes
your
me
team.
happy. Yes.
Your cat's trying to call somebody.
I mean, that's George.
I thought it was Kyle.
Oh, yeah, that's right. It's Kyle.
He's filling the role of both of them tonight.
Kyle, something's wrong with your neck.
Tristan's gonna get to make the picks in football.
Definitely.
I got this new system. I hope it works without putting all the votes in. 'Cause
Oh, we don't know. We didn't test it out yet.
I didn't figure that in, and I probably should have. I think it should because I didn't put in any kind of clause where it's required to have a field filled out. I just kind of made
Okay.
it. I kind of half-assed it while I was at work. I didn't put in a lot of security precautions or anything like that. But
That's good. That's good. Half-assing is good. That's what we want.
I just wanted to get something functional and working. And
Yeah, I didn't even know you were going to go to all that trouble. I was thinking like we'd set up a CBS Sports League or something like that. We'd just
Oh.
monopolize something that was out there. But
well,
you took it to another level.
When
I
your
salute
job,
you.
I'll reiterate what I said to you on Facebook this morning: is when your job is as boring as mine, you find stuff to do.
That's true. That's true. I've had really boring jobs before myself, and you'd be amazed at the stuff you could find to do if you just have an internet connection. Oh man.
Oh, absolutely, and that's exactly what I did. I just had my internet connection. I'm like, I'm bored, and Noah asked me to do this in week 1, so I'm going to start working on it. And then I, wound up having 2.5 weeks to work on it. So
Works out. It works out.
so I could do it. I could work on it when I felt like it, and not work on it when I didn't feel like it. And
Good job, Charlie.
he killed the music.
He did. That's actually how that song ends. All right, so what else is going on? We got presidential debates happening tonight.
Does anybody care? Do you care?
Are
Are you gonna watch?
No. No, I'm not. And I'll tell you why. Because it does not fucking matter in the slightest bit. They're the same candidate. I don't care which one of them gets elected. I think Barack Obama will be reelected. That's my prediction. I'm not a supporter of Barack Obama in any way, shape, or form, or Mitt Romney. I hate them both equally because they are the same candidate.
Well, we had Cosmic Shakedown in a few weeks ago, and Tony, the guitar player, was sitting here talking to us about how he feels the two-party system is flawed, and I feel the same way.
I agree.
And in fact, I am not watching the debate. I really don't care what either one of them have to say. I'm not voting for either one of them. I'm voting. Let me tell you this. I'm voting.
I'll vote too, yeah, but not for either one of them.
But I'm not voting for either one of them. I know
Yeah.
who I'm voting for. I'm already committed to it, and I'm already set with who I'm voting for. But it's not going to be either one of them. And the reason being is just for peace of mind for myself.
I feel the same way. You got to vote your conscience, people. Don't vote Democrat or Republican because they give a shit about you. Trust me on this. Vote your conscience. Vote someone you believe in. Don't vote for Barack Obama. You don't believe in. Come on. Let's be honest. Let's be honest. Let's talk about this, people. You don't believe in either one of these bastards. You know
If you want to get into it, listen, I don't think Barack Obama has been a terrible president. I think that the Republican majority has blocked him from doing anything because they're Republicans and he's a Democrat, and they're like, fuck that guy. I don't think that my candidate that I'm voting for is going to be able to be any more effective, because then if this guy gets in, then you got Republicans and Democrats sitting there like, well, fuck this guy. He's not one of us.
Who are you voting for the
I am
record?
voting for the Libertarian candidate, Gary
Okay.
Johnson.
Gary Johnson. I like the sounds of that. I like the Libertarians. That's good. Strip it down. Strip it down to nothing. Let's go back to the Constitution. Charlie, what do you think about the election?
I'm dealing with fools and trolls.
That's right. That's your choice. Fool or troll? Which one do you want?
Exactly. So, I mean, I'm not watching the debate. I could care less. They're not going to say anything that's going to change my mind. My whole reasoning for voting for Gary Johnson is, when one of these two idiots inevitably wins, I could sit here and when they screw up and be like, well, that's your fucking fault. I didn't vote for the guy. You know?
The reason I say that they are the same candidate is because they both represent a moneyed aristocracy that has taken over our country. It has nothing to do with representing the people, either one of them. Money is king, cash is king in our country, and it has been for a very long time. And people, if you want to change it, let's start the revolution, okay? I'm not talking about Occupy Buffalo because, admirable though their notions are, it's going to have to be a little more mainstream of a movement to be able to take this shit back. And unfortunately, a huge part of the people in this country are not concerned about that. They're more concerned about being the cheerleader on the winning side. And to you people, I say, ugh. God. Okay. Is that enough politics?
I think that's enough politics. If you want to get into a discussion with politics about me, I will talk all day about politics if I have to, just because I can, pull things out of my ass and be like, yeah, well, this guy sucks because of this.
Yeah, if
and
we
make
had
it sound like I know what I'm talking about.
If we had a full Ark crew tonight, I would say that we should have an election for president of the Ark and have debates on the Ark tonight. But just you and me debating is not going to be fun because we need a moderator, we need vice presidential candidates. We got to open this thing up. Maybe next week.
Maybe. We'll see what we can do if we can round up.
I
the
nominate
troops.
you, Joe, for
You
president.
Nominate me for president.
President of the Ark.
President of the Ark.
I do. I nominate you. We'll make this the convention. Tonight's convention night on the Ark, folks.
I don't know if I'm the most deserving candidate, but if I'm getting that nomination from you, Noah, I will graciously accept the nomination for president of the Noah's Ark show.
Fantastic. And since there's no one else here, Tristan is your running mate. I nominate him for VP. And
I'm actually planning on running for president in 2016.
That Slurpee you drank could be Secretary of State. Oh! There goes the Secretary of the Treasury. He just fell off the table.
Remarkably, none of my drinks spilled.
That is remarkable.
I don't know how any of that just happened, but
good stuff.
I actually do have a plan to run for president in 2016.
All right, why 2016? Is that the first year you're eligible?
Yeah, I mean, it's constituted. You cannot assume the office of president until you're 35 years old.
That's
now,
right.
I will be 34 when the election is going on in 2016. But when I would assume office in January of 2017, I would be 35.
Loophole.
So loophole. I'm using the Constitution to my advantage.
I'm with you. I'm going to throw my hat into the ring as well. I will be 35 in 2016. So I'm going to enter into a friendly competition for president of the United States with you.
Sounds good. I've already chosen my running mate, my dear friend and former Think So Brain bass player Dan Gotting will be my running mate. So
I thought you were going to say George.
No, former Think So Brain. George is the current Think So Brain bass player.
Ah, yes. Distinction noted.
We're auditioning a couple of people hopefully on Friday. So
okay, good.
So hopefully we'll be able to get back out soon.
Bringing in a new drummer.
And hopefully I'm actually going to try and get 2 new guitars. That way I don't got to lug my shit around.
That's always nice. It's so easy
I got no
to
car.
be a singer.
I have no car, and I have this giant, half stack. And I don't know how the hell I'm supposed to get it around. So I was sitting around thinking about it, like, how am I supposed to get this shit to this guy's house? Because this thing's not going to fit in George's fucking tracker, And the guy had mentioned, oh well, I know some good rhythm guitarists. Hey, why don't you have one of them come down, jam with us?
Absolutely.
That way
Make
I
them
don't gotta
carry
do
their
it.
shit around.
Plus the fact that the songs that this guy knows, the songs that are up on the website, I play guitar on one of those, not all 3. So if I can eliminate playing guitar, I'm actually all for getting 2 guitar players in the band. And
It's so much easier to be just a singer. You show up with your microphone, maybe, if you need to bring that.
yeah,
Hey, I'm here.
that's my logic. Is my PA system will fit in George's tracker. So if I need a ride, George, come get me.
I show up to carpool practice with my microphone and my lyrics in a little bag that weighs half a pound. I'm like, yeah. Now this is traveling for the band. Nice and easy. Keep it simple,
That's
folks.
what I'm going for. I mean, I like playing guitar, and but I'm not really good at the playing and singing kind of thing. So I kind of decided, Hey, let's get 2 guitar players, and let me just worry about singing because I'm bad enough at that without playing guitar.
I feel the same way about myself.
I've seen you.
it's a good
I've
strategy.
seen you perform. It sounds like the albums. I very much enjoyed that show at Broadway Joe's.
Thank you, sir.
It's funny. I was on Twitter a couple of weeks ago, and I follow a lot of wrestling fans and stuff. And
Sure.
this one girl asked this wrestler Colt Cabana if he was going to be doing his Art of Wrestling. No, that's not his. His is whatever the hell his podcast is. If he was going to be doing it in Buffalo, because apparently he had plans to do it in Buffalo, and he wrote back and he said, "No, no, I'm not, because the manager of Broadway Joe's is an idiot and a bad businessman." I tweeted him and said, "Dude, I know some people from that place. I can see if I can find anything out for you," but he didn't get back to me. So
I think the ship has sailed then on that one.
I guess. I mean, I don't know what the details are, but apparently he's not too fond of management over at B Joe's.
I wonder if he dealt with Ted. Just makes
That's a good question,
It
man.
makes you wonder.
Ted, if you're listening and that was you,
Tell us. That's hilarious. But
I'd like to know. I'm not going to get you in any trouble with Mr. Colt Cabana there. But,
Indeed. I played a number of shows at Broadway Joe's, and I've never really had a problem there. But I know a ton of people who hate the place and refuse to go there.
I like the place,
I mean-
and I like to go there, and I don't mind going to shows there, playing there.
I don't mind it either personally, but I know a bunch of people who've just completely sworn off of it.
The funny thing is, as this conversation's going on, somebody else tweeted to him like, "Oh yeah, I've been to that shithole. I went to see Smile Empty Soul there." I said, "Dude, I played that show." That was one of the last Think So Brain shows before all the shit happened, and we split up, and From the Ashes came out of it. But we did the show there with Smile Empty Soul, and it was. I don't want to throw anybody under the bus here, but the promotion was not great for that show. It's really telling that, it was us and it was Six Pin were the local bands, and they had a couple of national bands, which were Edison and Smile Empty Soul.
Okay, sure. I remember Six Pin.
Bunch of folks were there to see Six Pin. Bunch of folks stuck around to see us. Edison played, and then the place cleared out. There were like 10 people there watching Smile Empty Soul. And
But what time are we talking? Was it getting super late?
It was coming up about like maybe 11, 12 o'clock. So early for a Saturday night in Buffalo.
That's fairly early, yeah.
So, the place is starting to clear out. There's maybe like 10 people there for Smile Empty Soul, which is it sucks, because anybody that left that show needs to kick themselves in the ass, because Smile Empty Soul's bass player the night before threw out his back, and they did an acoustic show. It was just Sean the singer with the drummer, and they did an acoustic set, and it was really, really good. It was I very much enjoyed it.
People missed out, huh?
People missed out, and I think that's going to probably ruin Buffalo for Smile Empty Soul. I don't think they're going to be back. In fact, Nonpoint was supposed to play Niagara Falls a couple of weeks ago, but that show got canceled, and I think it has to do with the fact that the last time Nonpoint was in Western New York, about 50 people were there.
This continues to happen to Western New York, and I don't know why.
And people complain that bands never come here.
There's a reason. They come here before they're huge, and no one comes to their show, and they're like, well, fuck those guys.
It's not even that they came here before they were huge. It was Smile Empty Soul came here. They had like 4 albums out. They had a big hit back a few years ago with Bottom of a Bottle, and a follow-up with Silhouettes, and they put out a few more albums since then. Nonpoint was here. And they had just released the album that had Bullet with a Name on it. So they that was their big single at the time. They had a few big hits before that too, and just 50 people showed up. It was the coolest show to go to, because they pulled all their gear back into one corner of the stage and invited everybody to come up on stage, took requests the whole night.
Nice.
Which was cool. They played Bullet with a Name, and then they're like, "What do you guys want to hear?" And they haven't been back since.
It makes me think of, the band Muse. Who,
I'm familiar with them.
One of the biggest bands in the world now.
Yeah.
But before they were huge, I think it was around the time that they came out with Absolution, and they were really well known in England at the time, but not so much in the States. And they were on a huge world tour, And they came through Buffalo, and they played, I believe it was the Tralf. I think it was the Tralf. I want to say it was the Tralf that they played.
Yeah.
And there was maybe, I didn't go. I kick myself to this day for it. I really wish I had. But I heard that there was like 20, 30 people there.
I would imagine.
And Muse will never come back to Buffalo, ever.
So, I mean, and that's my point. I mean, you complain that nobody ever comes to Buffalo, but then when people do come to Buffalo, you don't go. Why the fuck do you think people don't come to Buffalo?
I couldn't go that night. I can't remember what it was, but something stupid that was not worthwhile kept me away from that show, and I will never, ever stop kicking myself because now I'll never see them in Buffalo. I actually went to see them in Toronto a couple years later when they were huge in North America. And it's one of the best concerts I've ever seen. They were incredible. I can't imagine what they were like at the Tralf with that few people. I can't even possibly imagine how awesome that show must have been.
I've been to the Tralf once. I saw the band Cavo, and that was a small turnout, too. And they were pretty good. I actually got to see them twice that day because we won tickets. We got the Edge sessions earlier in the day at WEDG. So that was cool, too. In fact, that was the... We were dealing with Ted at the time.
Whoa! It's not football time just
We were
yet.
dealing with Ted and Sonic Indian Productions at the time. We were setting up the show we were supposed to do with Scum of the Earth, Rob Zombie's old backing band.
Okay.
When I woke up that morning, I'm getting all these messages and notifications on Facebook, people asking me, well, what's going on with the Scum of the Earth show? Is it canceled? Like, what the hell are you talking about? And turned out Sixpin, who was also on the bill, they're putting, the show's canceled. Well, nobody told us. It's called Ted. Left Ted a voicemail or texted him or something, and Ted, after Cavo finished playing their acoustic set, they're coming around, they're shaking hands with everybody in the crowd. And I'm like half paying attention because I'm waiting for a text from Ted or a call. Ted calls me, says, "Yeah, the show's been canceled." Because the show is sponsored by Jägermeister and the venue doesn't have a liquor license.
Oh, Jesus!
And
somebody didn't do their homework on that.
So the show got canceled, and I look at my wife, who was still my fiance at the time. I looked at her and said, "Yeah, the show's canceled." And the guys from Cabo are like, "Our show's canceled." I'm like, no, not your show. No, you guys better play. I got tickets. Again, not to throw anybody under the bus.
All right, let's get our overeager Hondurans into the mix here. Yes, indeed, ladies and gentlemen.
You realize the last time we did this was week 2.
Oh, how things have changed.
Last time we were here was week 2. Well, I did this little chart here. I've got my chart.
Wait, I won?
Noah, you won.
I won!
11 wins.
Yes!
Out of the 16 games of week 2, 11 wins.
Yes! That's fantastic.
Wait, how'd you get 11 and there's 6 losses? That doesn't make any sense. You got 10, and we all got 9. That's what happened. You got 10, we all got 9. I don't know what the hell happened. My computer doesn't know how to do math. My system doesn't know how to do math.
We still have bugs to work out, and that's okay.
I'll
that's
work on
right.
them tonight. But yes, Noah, you still won. You did quite well for yourself.
All right.
10 wins. George and I with 9, and Kyle with apparently 7.
And Kyle lost the
Playing
challenge.
with my keys.
There was the challenge issue to San Francisco played Detroit.
Yes, Kyle will now have to drink 2 extra large Slurpees in the span of 30 minutes. Those are not 32-ounce Slurpees. I said 32-ounce when I took the challenge in week 1 when I took the bet.
It's a 64-ounce, right?
It is a 41-ounce.
Okay.
So Kyle's got to do 2 of those in 30 minutes the next time he's here.
All right.
Also losing his challenge, Noah, you picked Dallas.
Oh, what was I thinking?
Seattle won.
Oh.
You now have to put your balls to the wall.
Balls to the wall. God damn it.
Georgia's challenge, Georgia's lock was Pittsburgh. They did win. It was a unanimous vote among the four here, but the guest we had in studio picked against Pittsburgh.
Okay. That's
believe,
right.
I believe they played the Jets that week. So that's why George was allowed to lock in Pittsburgh.
Fair enough.
If he had lost, he would have to have done a can of dog bite in 30 minutes.
That's not much of a challenge, a can of dog bite. I've done that at carpool practice probably several times.
Well, there was a debate over how long we were going to give him because he initially said an hour.
Hour? That's way too long.
And then Kyle said 15 minutes. And then you compromised. You said 30. So
okay.
My
Should've gone with
lock
20.
My lock by way of challenge was San Francisco, who did defeat the Detroit Lions, Kyle. And if I would have lost, I would have had to do the two
Detroit,
extra large.
not looking too good this year for old Kylie.
Nope, not really. No, I do have texts from that night, so let's see. Kyle, here we go. I got a text from Kyle. This was in the second half. The first text I got from him. Goddamn, San Fran's offense is so good. I said, the Lions looked like they were stepping up on this drive, but then that stop happened. Kyle says, at least they scored. Yep, no goalpost on that one. Lions defense is killing it too. Niners receivers aren't hurting their cause, and I'm typing that first down. Smith just schooled the D. That was Alex Smith ran for a first down.
Nice.
And he did take a hit on that play too. And Kyle says, "Yeah, his bloody nose is such a cute look for him." And then he hit Crabtree with a first down pass on 3rd and 9. Kyle says, "Yeah, that was sweet. The Lions didn't even try to tackle Davis. What the fuck? I'm gonna be committing suicide by Slurpee on Wednesday." Told him that was an extra large. He says, "Yeah, I know." Said, "I hope you like Slurpees, buddy. Fucking A."
I love the ripping going on during the game. That's fantastic.
Yeah, it was him that texted me during the game. So I mean, yeah, I will talk smack if somebody decides they want to text me when my team's beating theirs. So feel free to text me this weekend, Noah.
Oh, I'm sure that you'd love to challenge me on the whole Bills-San Francisco game, my friend. But if you think I'm picking the Bills, you're out of your fucking mind. The Jets, who dismantled the Bills in Week 1, lost, what was it, 35-0?
34 to nothing this week.
Blanked by San Francisco, and we got to go to San Francisco. Come on, what are you kidding me? You think I'm going to pick the Bills? No way.
And believe me, man,
I might lock in San Francisco.
There is no way that the Bills are going to put up 28 points on San Francisco's defense. I'm sorry.
28? No. They're going to be in negative points, my friend. My prediction for that game is San Francisco 72, Buffalo -18.
Our offense isn't that good.
No. Dude, it's the Bills. We will find a way to not only make your offense that good, but score negative points.
This past week, we weren't here, but these were the football scores. Baltimore over Cleveland, score of 23-16.
Okay. Don't worry about announcing that Bills game.
49ers 34 over the Jets 0. Seahawks lost to the Rams 19-13.
Oof.
Falcons over the Panthers 30-28. Vikings over the Lions 20-13. Chiefs lost to the Chargers 37-20. Texans 38-14 over the Titans. The Bengals 27-10 over the Jags.
Nice.
Broncos thrashed the Raiders 37-6.
Peyton!
Cardinals 24-21 over the Dolphins. Redskins RJ3 24-22 over the Bucks.
Oh,
that was a good game. Did you catch that one?
I did not.
That was a good game.
RG3 is unstoppable now.
The Packers over the Saints, another good game. And let me tell you, I mean, the regular refs are back.
Yep.
They were trying just as hard to screw Green Bay over this week, but they still failed. 28-27 Green Bay over the Saints. The still winless Saints.
Oh, who saw that coming?
19-17
Bounty
Eagles
gate.
over the Giants. And the Cowboys taking the big loss to the Bears, 34-18.
That doesn't surprise me.
And, of course, last and certainly least, the Patriots with the 52-28 victory over the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah.
Bills got a shot at redemption later on in the season.
That's 45 points in the second half. Am I right on that? They were
You are right. 14 in the third quarter and 31 in the fourth.
31 points in
31
the
to
fourth quarter.
7. The Bills were outscored in the fourth quarter.
Way to close out a game. High-priced defense. You know, I don't even know who to hate anymore. I don't even know who to be angry at. You can't say fire Fitzpatrick. It certainly wasn't all him. You can't say fire Daly. It's certainly not all him. You can't say fire Watson. I mean, it's a shared defeat that's so completely immense the entire organization inside a wall.
I'll tell you
of
what. I will
sadness.
tell you what the secret is this week.
I can't even think straight. It's so boggling. It's mind-boggling.
I will tell you what the secret is this week. The Bills' defense needs to shut down Alex Smith and needs to shut down Frank Gore.
Okay.
And if they can do that, then you just have to rely on your kicker because you're not getting any touchdowns on San Francisco.
And I got to say, our run defense, Bills' run defense, has not looked bad for most of this year. But last week, I mean, an undrafted rookie tore him up for, I think, 140, and Ridley put up over 100. Mostly in the second half.
I didn't catch any of the game last week. I did catch the beginning of the Week 3 game, and Buffalo looked solid in that game.
You know, basically,
At least the first few plays that I saw.
they were good. Week 2 and Week 3, the Bills look great. But the thing is, the Bills are so afraid of Tom Brady that they would not go out of the nickel defense, even as they were running the ball down their throat, scoring touchdown after touchdown. They're like, well, we can't go out of the nickel. It's fucking Tom Brady, man. What are you going to do? We can't go out of the nickel. It's just Tom Brady. There's no other solution. I'm having a stroke. It's all right. I'll be okay.
Well, listen, since two of our co-hosts aren't here,
Yes.
you're gonna actually have to write down picks for them.
I'm gonna write down picks?
Because if I do it with my system, I actually have to pick a team for them.
Oh, that's a bummer. Okay.
Unless you want me to just randomly pick teams.
Yeah, we'll pick teams for them. That's all right.
That sounds good. Okay, and then we'll pick. Their
I don't want
locks.
to write. I don't want to write things. My stroke is really affecting my.
We will pick their
penmanship.
locks. We'll pick their lock picks for them too, and we'll determine their bets.
Yes, and I want to throw out. I will do the balls to the wall thing. I don't have a problem with it. I'll wait until the rest of the crew. If it's just you and me, and I do it's going to be weird.
That would be awkward.
I'll wait
yes.
for Kyle to when he's drinking his Slurpees. I'll do the balls to the wall thing. I didn't prepare any chalk either because I didn't realize that I had lost that.
I sent you the thing this morning. You could have looked, saw that you lost.
I didn't even look at it.
I sent you the chart just
Well,
so you could see what it would look like.
I looked at the chart. I saw what it looked like. I was like, it looks awesome. I didn't even think about the locks.
All right. Well, let's get started here.
Okay, we're picking. We're picking.
Arizona going to St. Louis.
I got to try to remember because I have a pool through work as well. And I'd like to make the same picks. Let's see if I can do this. I'm going to see if I can. This is much more complicated than it should be. Yes! This is it. I made these picks without thinking about it whatsoever. That's why I feel good about them.
Arizona 4-0, St. Louis 2-2.
How is Arizona 4? Every year, Arizona completely screws us over. You know this. You remember this.
Well, we said it a few weeks. In fact, it was week 2.
Right.
They played the Patriots, and we decided, hey, whatever way we go, we're going to lose because Arizona's always screwing us.
That's right.
And Arizona won.
That's right. Every
Because
goddamn time.
and we were unanimous in picking New England.
Of course. And here's what's going to happen. Everybody was unanimous in picking New England, by the way. Here's what's going to happen. I'm going to pick Arizona for this game against St. Louis, and they are going to lose. Mark my words, because I am picking Arizona, but I am guaranteeing that they lose. Does that make sense?
Let's try and balance this
Does
out.
this-
I'm also going to pick Arizona. All right? But we're going to give George and Kyle both St. Louis.
Okay. That's a
All
good
right,
call.
sound good to you?
Yeah.
We're going to pick the 4-0 team.
That's basically
we'll
handing
give them the
them
2-2 team. So if they win, if we're right,
Yep.
and picking Arizona causes Arizona to lose,
Yeah.
that's a win for George and Kyle.
Oh, that's going to be extra painful then. All right, I'm good with it. I'm good with it. We've got to purge these demons somehow.
The Miami Dolphins 1-3, Cincinnati Bengals 3-1.
I'm gonna go with Cincinnati in this one. Miami, I think they've got something, but I'm not quite sure what it is, and I think it has to do with cocaine.
They've got Down syndrome. I don't know.
They've got a speedball, and they are taking it to Ohio, where they will be arrested.
I will also take Cincinnati.
Yes.
What do you think for Kyle and George?
Yeah, give them Miami, sure.
All right. This is turning out to be interesting. The ones that we're picking together, we're giving them the opposite.
That's
so.
right. If you and I are in agreement, we think there's a big underdog, then we give them the underdog.
Another 3-1 versus 1-3 game. It's Baltimore going into Kansas City.
Kansas City traditionally has a pretty good home field advantage at Arrowhead, but I've got to think Baltimore wins this game.
I never pick Kansas City, so once again, I'm with you. Baltimore. We'll give them Kansas
Give
City.
them KC. All right, I like it. I like how this is playing out.
2-2 Pack. 1-2 Colts.
It's like it would almost be harder to pick, make all your picks to get no victories. That's what we should do next year. We're going to see who can pick the least amount of victories. Pick the loser. That's how we're going to settle
So we'll
this.
make the losing team green on our screen.
That's right.
Okay,
That's
I got
right.
you.
well, let's keep picking winners for this year before we get too confused with this.
All right. So Green Bay, Indianapolis. Green Bay is 2-2. They're
Yes.
going into Indy.
All right. Green
And-
Bay should be 3-1. Are we right? Are we in agreement on that?
Absolutely. I mean, that was probably one of the worst calls in NFL history.
Yeah. That is the call that broke the lockout.
It is. I mean, that was horrible, and I will freely admit that yes, despite the fact that before that happened, I said when Green Bay loses, I'm gonna laugh. I couldn't laugh at that. That was a shitty way to lose.
Yeah. You don't want to ever see anybody lose a game like that. Honestly.
But
That is
I will
shitty.
definitely say that I am taking Green Bay in this game.
I'm with you, Green Bay, all the way. I think Green Bay will be fine. That victory's not going to keep them out of the playoffs.
George and Kyle, by way of not being here, pick Indianapolis.
Indianapolis. Let's see if we can get these guys 0 wins. By legitimately picking teams, we'll see if we can get them 0 wins.
All right. Cleveland Browns going into New York. I think this is a no-brainer.
That's a
Giants.
slam dunk. Giants for me, Cleveland for Kyle and George.
I don't think there's any doubt about who's winning this game. It's
I
just-
happened to be out visiting some family out in the Cleveland area this past weekend, and I still had some gloating left because at that point the Bills were 2-1 and looking pretty good. And Cleveland fans, oh man, they remind me of Bills fans from like 2003. They're so desperate, so just
Want something.
Not even angry because they don't have that much emotion left. They're just wiped out.
Well, Cleveland is one of two teams that is 0-4 right now.
I would say despair, but it's not even despair. They've kind of accepted it. They've just accepted it, and they're like, they're ready to die. They want to commit suicide, all of them. And I feel bad for them. Honestly, I couldn't rub it in. I couldn't rub in the Bills win that much because I just talked to them for 30 seconds. You feel bad. You're like, are you okay?
Yeah.
Can I get you something?
Hey, speaking of visiting family, last year I visited family down in Virginia. They're all Redskins fans down there.
All right.
RG3 stepping up.
RG3 looks great.
He's looking solid there, but he's taking on the 4-0 Atlanta Falcons.
Generally, anytime anybody gives up that many draft picks for one player, they are guaranteed to be a bust. Okay? Am I right on this?
Yeah.
Did I not end Mike Ditka's career?
Yeah.
Because of I can't even think of his name. Fucking dumbass in Miami now. What's his name? I can't think of it. It'll come to me. Give me a second. Help me out, fans. 716-402-4218. Somebody's got to remember. Why can I not think of his name? He got kicked out of the league for smoking weed. I played for Miami for a while. Ricky Williams. Bam. Ended Mike Ditka's career.
Well, I mean...
But no, and you would think with Dan Snyder as the owner of Washington, it's just guaranteed that RG3 has to be a bust, right? It is not so.
But you're
RG3
singing
looks
the
great.
praises of RG3, but is RG3 good enough? Is he going to end the streak? 4-0 Atlanta.
I believe not. I believe Atlanta will win this game. I think Atlanta is actually one of the better teams in the league.
That is also my pick.
Yeah. I
So-
see them as a playoff team this year, and Washington, I'm not so sure. I think they'll be competitive to the end, but I don't know if all the pieces are there. Shanahan, certainly a good coach. RG3 looks to be certainly a great quarterback, but I don't know if it's all coming together for him yet, and I think Atlanta is kind of, they're 2 or 3 years ahead of where Washington is right now.
Absolutely. I told you a story last season about the Steagles, the team that they had to put together during wartime. There was a combination of the Philadelphia Eagles and the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Right.
Battle of Philadelphia going on this week. It is 3-1 Philadelphia at 1-2 Pittsburgh.
Cannibals. It's the Steagles against the Steagles. The Battle of Pennsylvania.
An
Who
actual
sucks
Battle
more?
of Pennsylvania. No.
What sucks more, Eastern Pennsylvania or Western Pennsylvania? Oh, that's hard. That's tough. I'm going to say that Eastern Pennsylvania sucks slightly more, and I'm going to side with our Western brethren, and I'm going with Pittsburgh for this one.
Pittsburgh. All right.
At home, Heinz Field, Pittsburgh. I think they've got it. They've got the cojones to pull this thing out.
I'm actually going against you for once.
All right.
I am going against you. I am taking Philly. Which
Now, how do we decide for
leaves
Kyle?
us now? We got to figure
Yeah.
out what we're doing for Kyle and George.
All right. Let's see. Well, did we split them? Would that be fair if we gave them one of each? Since we took one of each.
I don't see why not. But who gets what? That's the question.
Well, it's East versus West in this one.
Well, let's look at it this way. George sits here on the west side, and Kyle sits on the east. So we'll give.
I'll see. I was
George?
gonna say George is more like he's more like the city folk guy, and Kyle's more like the cowboy. So he's more West. But your logic makes sense too.
Just based on where we're sitting,
All right.
I say George takes Pittsburgh. Kyle takes Philadelphia.
Okay, I'm good with that. Who's next?
Da Bears.
The Bears.
Da Bears. 3 and
The
1.
Bears are looking mighty fine this year, aren't they?
They're going into Jacksonville, who is currently 1 and 3.
Oh, that Jay Cutler, huh? Huh? He's a douchebag royale, but he can throw that football a little bit.
I got Da Bears.
I'm taking the Bears too. Go ahead and give
Bears, so
Jacksonville to Kyle and
Jacksonville
George.
to Kyle and George.
Yes, indeedy.
Seattle, hold my dick.
Surprising Seattle. What are they now?
2 and 2,
2-2. Okay.
including that controversial win there.
The okay, that's right. So 1 and 2 plus 1 controversial win. It's still sort of surprising. I pictured them going
So
4.
so since we were saying that Green Bay was 3 and 1, let's say that Seattle is 1 and 3.
1 and 3, right?
They're playing the 1 and 3 Panthers.
Right.
Without replacement reps, they're not getting extra timeouts like
Nope.
week 1.
No help.
They're not getting phantom touchdowns like week 3.
I think Cam Newton whines like a little baby, but he somehow pulls this game out. Carolina wins at home.
All right.
But it's tough. It's tough. I know Kyle and George are both picking Buffalo.
I'm taking Carolina. I think.
I give those guys Seattle.
I'm going to take Carolina. We'll give them Seattle just to make that, because I don't know if Seattle can win without the refs.
I'm serious. I might lock in San Francisco. The only time the Bills could ever pull a game like this out is if I lock against them. I may have to lock San Francisco.
Now,
We'll see what happens.
No,
let's do them last. We'll move on.
We are. You said in week 1, you said that New England, this is the season that they're going to go
4-12.
4-12.
4-12 is my predicted record.
They are
yes.
currently 2-2. They
2
are
and
playing the Denver Broncos,
Denver.
and it's 2-2 for Denver as well. Peyton or Tom?
Peyton. I'm going with Peyton. And you know what? I was completely not sold on Peyton earlier this year. I thought Peyton's done. He's going to come in. He's going to blow it for Denver. They're fucked. They're completely fucked. They gave up too much for Peyton. Forget about it. Forget the whole thing. He's past his prime anyway. But he's not. He looks great. I got to give him credit. Comeback player of the year, probably.
Yeah.
Peyton Manning. And with a new team and looking like Peyton Manning. What can you say? He looks like a great quarterback. New England.
You were there. You were there on Sunday.
Yes.
At the Ralph.
Yes.
Did you see how fired up Tom Brady was coming out of the tunnel for the second half?
I did not.
He was fired up. They showed him on SportsCenter last night. He was angry, fired up. He was ready to go.
I hate Tom Brady so much.
I know you do. But you see, he was down, and he led his team to victory.
That's true.
And I commend that. I do not like Tom Brady any more than you do, good sir. but I am picking New England.
All right.
And I'm picking New England for George just because he hates them.
I'm sticking with my 4-12. That's good. I like that.
So Kyle,
I'm sticking
Kyle
with
gets
my
Denver.
4-12 prediction until Tom Brady proves me wrong. He may have a win against my beloved Buffalo Bills, but I think he's only got 2 more wins in him the rest of this season, and that may require him going on IR or potentially being murdered. I don't know. Something horrible or possibly great, depending on how you look at it, is going to happen to Tom Brady. And 4-12. I'm sticking with it. Peyton wins.
All right. Again, I took New England, gave George New England. Kyle, by default, gets Denver.
Right. Okay. So me
All
and
right.
Kyle are on Peyton wagon. Okay.
Tennessee goes into Minnesota 1-3, 3-1.
Tennessee, Minnesota. Okay.
I got Minnesota on this.
Yeah, I'm going with Minnesota, although I'm not sure why. Except the percentages seem to be in my favor. So yeah, Minnesota at home.
Yeah. Speaking of at home, the Saints are at home this week. 0-4.
Oof.
The Aints this year.
Oof.
And here's the thing. Here's the thing. They haven't been losing by much.
No, they've been competitive in I think every game.
They have held their own in every game. They just cannot seem to clinch the victory.
They are cursed. They're cursed. They defiled the game of football with Bountygate, and now the ghost of Vince Lombardi is haunting them.
Now, being at home against San Diego, do their fortunes change?
I say
That's the
no.
question.
I say no. I say San Diego comes in, and the streak continues. New Orleans, a much better team than an 0-4 team. Let's say that, because that is absolutely true. A much better team than an 0-4 team. But they're without their head coach. They're without their best linebacker. I think the streak continues, and the NFL continues to just shit all over them.
I've got to agree with you. I think that's what it is. They cannot close out the win because they do not have that mindset there.
It's karma.
I don't know what it is about New Orleans, but there is something that is just missing, and it's causing them to lose these games by very close margins. But they are unable to seal it.
All the good karma that they were owed after Hurricane Katrina, they spent it all up. They used it all up, won the Super Bowl, and then they went completely, turned the needle the other way with the Bountygate thing, and now they are on the shit list of Vince Lombardi. And they will be this entire season. Unfortunately, I think they win 6 games tops.
Yeah.
Absolutely tops.
Monday Night Football. The undefeated Houston Texans, rather.
The Houston Texans.
The Houston Texans. Howdy, y'all. They take on the 2-2 New York Jets.
America's fattest city versus America's shittiest city.
And this is the thing is, what Jets team is going to show up? Is it the one that trounced Buffalo in Week 1, or is it the one
I doubt it.
Is it the one that is it the one that was destroyed by San Francisco last week? Do the Jets come into MetLife Stadium for Monday Night Football against Houston?
No.
Fired up.
No.
Ready to prove that last week was a fluke.
They do not, because last week was not a fluke. The Jets are not a good football team. The Bills have a way of making shitty football teams look like a good football team. They have a way of making shitty quarterbacks look like great quarterbacks. I said this after the Jets beat my beloved Buffalo Bills. I don't think Mark Sanchez will be the starting quarterback in Week 17 when they have the rematch with Buffalo. It's not going to happen. When they come to Buffalo, Sanchez will be on the pine. Mark my words, because that dude sucks. He's one of the worst starting quarterbacks in the league, if not the worst. I think Houston is a really solid team, and I see them as a playoff team. I think Houston wins this game easily.
Sanchez started the game last Sunday, but Tebow finished the game.
Ooh, it's just like how the season's going to go.
All right. Finally,
when Rex Ryan has to save his own fat ass, he will start Tebow. Mark my words, my friends.
Finally, it's the game I was planning on challenging you on, but you have come to your senses.
Oh, how things have changed.
You have come to your senses.
I will take San Francisco, yes.
3-1 San Francisco 49ers against the 2-2 Buffalo Bills at
Joe,
the stick.
Man, you know this hurts. This is painful for me. You know how much I love the Bills. But you would have to be a raving lunatic crazy person to pick the Bills against San Francisco. Really, people, who would pick the Bills? I love the Bills, love them to death. They're a mess right now. They are an absolute mess. I think the Bills have enough talent that they possibly could upset San Francisco, but I would not make that pick unless they were on a serious roll. And you know what? New England's not nearly as good of a team as San Francisco is
No,
right
and,
now.
and particularly on defense. I've said it before. I'll say it again.
Particularly on defense.
The
yes.
Bills are not going to put up 28 points like they did against New York.
I don't think
like
so,
they did
no.
against New England. They're not going to
No.
do it against San Francisco.
Nope.
San Francisco is too good of a team to allow that to happen.
I think their defense will not.
The key for the Buffalo Bills this week is to shut down the San Francisco offense.
Right.
And depending on the receivers for San Francisco, that could either be easy or it could be
Right.
really difficult.
I don't think you see.
And to emphasize my point, the team that did beat San Francisco was fucking Minnesota.
Yeah, sure. I think you see in this game the Buffalo's defense brings a lot of the big bodies onto the field. This isn't. They're not going to be throwing Tom Brady panty waist little safeties and the defense all day. They're going to bring out the big uglies and they're going to give it their all, I think. But they're just overmatched. The defense is a mess. The offense is going to be just a disaster now that they've lost 2 starting linemen. Probably the best one of the. Well, I don't want to say the best lineman in Cordy Glenn because he's just a rookie, but I think he will be the best lineman on this team for many years. I think he's a great left tackle and an awesome draft pick, but he's out for who knows how long. Starting Craig Urbick, he's out. So look, the line's banged up. Their egos are bruised, certainly, at this point, and they're making the long trip to San Francisco to start the road swing. I just don't see it. I don't see it happening. I think they will probably load up against San Francisco's offense. They will try to shut down that run game, and they will not have nearly as much respect for Alex Smith as they did for Tom Brady, which they shouldn't have as much fucking respect for Tom Brady. They're a bunch of panty wastes.
Yeah.
Talking to you, Wannstedt. Shave off that fucking mustache, put your back brace back on, and
This is one
throw
thing.
a pair.
This is one thing I never got, and that is respect for a highly talented player. Listen, he's a player. He's
Right.
like fucking.
Are you playing to win or are you playing not to lose? And that's what the
Let me give
Buffalo
you an
defense did
example.
last. They were playing not to lose, and they got their asses handed to them and humiliated.
Let
That's
me
what
give you an
happens when you
example
play not
here.
to lose.
In a different sport, let's shift gears. As much as I'd hate to do it, let's talk about hockey for a second.
All right.
Let's talk about Sidney Crosby. Sidney Crosby
Sidney
is
Crosby.
he's the next Mario Lemieux, no doubt about it.
Right. Best player in the league.
He's the next Mario Lemieux. He's not the next Gretzky. Let's get that out of the way right now.
Yeah, he's no great one.
He's not the next Gretzky. He's the next Mario Lemieux. He's the savior of Pittsburgh.
Sure.
That's what he is.
Okay.
But teams show this
Best
guy.
player in the league right now?
Perhaps.
It's debatable.
All right.
It's debatable.
But let's just put it this way. All right, this is a guy who, because he is supposed to be this great player, he gets a lot of respect. So a lot of the hitters won't hit him.
Right.
Why?
Why?
You're not,
Exactly.
If you're not going to hit the guy's going to fucking skate around you and score.
Right.
Don't fucking respect the guy.
But if you hit him, you give
Play
him a
to fucking
concussion.
win. Yeah, exactly.
Because he's got a glass jaw.
Exactly. Play to win, but that's exactly my point. You can't play against
Play to
Tom
win.
Brady.
That's right.
You can't play against Tom Brady and be like, oh, it's Tom Brady. We got to respect him. Fuck that. Hit him. Knock him down.
I completely agree.
Make him your bitch.
Buffalo's game
Earn
plan.
yourself some fucking respect. Don't respect anybody
The
else.
Buffalo Bills' defensive game plan exposed them for being absolute pussies, and it's embarrassing. It's completely embarrassing. You're putting everything on the front forward that you think they're going to get in on Tom Brady in every play. There's a reason that you haven't seen Tom Brady sack that much over these years. It's not just the linemen that they can swap out like fucking running backs in that team. It's a great scheme. They know how to protect him, and the guy knows how to avoid a hit and get rid of the ball. You can't put it all in that. I don't even want to go down this road. Fuck you, Wannstedt. Fuck you.
All right, so we got all our picks.
All right.
So let's talk locks.
I feel good. I feel good about that.
Let's talk locks. What
Okay.
do you want? You want San Francisco? I will let you have.
I'm going to lock in San Francisco. I think it's the only way that I give my Billies a shot.
You're gonna take it. You're gonna take it away from me. You're gonna lock in San Francisco. What is
I
your
am.
bet, sir?
Oh, man, I haven't even thought about this. How about this? All right. Let's get really crazy. If Buffalo wins,
Okay.
okay, if Buffalo wins, I can't pick Buffalo for the rest of the year. I hate to even make this bet because now it's guaranteed that Buffalo's going to win. That is my bet.
Wait a minute. Let's let's define this, because
Okay.
last year we made a similar bet. You and I made a bet. It was
Yes.
you couldn't pick Buffalo or I couldn't pick San Francisco, and that extended into the postseason. Now, not
Yes.
expecting the Bills to make the postseason.
No.
But should they turn it around, and should they make the postseason? Does
Yeah.
this include postseason?
No.
No.
Just regular
So
season.
regular season. So the rest of the
Regular season only. Rest of the regular season, no Buffalo. Ugh. You know what? If they win, it'll be well worth it. It'll be well worth it for me. I hope they do. Of course, you know that I hope they do, but I just really don't think it's going to happen.
I've been wearing this hat all week. I will hopefully be continuing to wear this hat all next week and rubbing it in everybody's face. Not tipping my cap to everybody wearing Bills jackets for the sheer fact that it's cold out. And that's their only jacket.
I have a Bills starter jacket. I wore it last week. Every time I wear it to the game, we get crushed. I think it's cursed. It's probably from the Super Bowl era. I probably went to the Super Bowl. My wife found it at the Salvation Army.
Nice.
Should probably stop wearing it. All right, what's your lock, sir?
I'm not taking Green Bay. I was thinking about it, but I'm not. I don't know.
It's tough when I take away San Francisco, huh?
Yeah. That would have been my lock.
I think pretty much every game is fair game, except for the Giants.
We're not allowed to pick the Giants.
That's
That's
right.
true.
No picking the Super Bowl champion of the previous year. But I don't believe there's any unanimous game, right? Because we picked everything crazy for...
We did pick everything crazy for them.
Right.
I'm going to take Houston over the Jets for Monday night.
I think that's a good call. That's a good lock. That's what I would be locking if I wasn't locking San Francisco.
This is the thing is, the first week, the reason I picked the Giants was because it was the first game. It was actually the night we were doing the show. I wanted to know if I was going to lose right away. But this week, I'm going to pick the Monday night game. I'm going to take the Texans. They are undefeated. They're playing the Jets, who are not, who are a average team at best. I just don't know what I'm going to do if I lose. I haven't thought that through. I was actually planning on challenging you because I was expecting you to pick Buffalo, and the challenge was going to be regular season can't pick your team. So-
see, I totally
took that
turned it
away
around
from
on
me.
you, didn't I?
You completely took that away from me. What to do?
Oh, man. How about if the Jets win, it's got to involve a filthy Sanchez, I think.
No. Here we go. This is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to do is this Sunday on Board Wrestling Fan Radio,
Okay.
we have a very special interview right at the top of the show
Right?
with Doink the Clown.
Doink the Clown.
Doink the Clown, the original Doink the Clown, Matt Bourne, will be on Board Wrestling Fan Radio. So here's my bet.
All right.
If Houston loses to the Jets for most of the show, because I do need to work after the show, so I'll probably go maybe like 15 minutes before the end of the show and wash it off, I will come painted up like Doink the Clown.
Nice. All right. I like it. Doink the Clown.
All right, so let's pick locks for Kyle and George and give them some crazy shit to do.
All right. Let's see.
Why don't we take the two games that we didn't pick unanimously between the two of us,
Yeah.
and we'll give one to George and we'll give one to Kyle, and we'll come up with crazy stuff from there. Let's see what we didn't do. We didn't do
All right. Let's lock in Philly for George. then.
Philly for George.
Yeah.
George picked Pittsburgh. Kyle picked Philly.
Damn. All right. Let's lock in Philly for Kyle then.
Which would mean that we're going to lock in New England for George. Philly for Kyle. We're going to lock in New England for George. Where's New England? There they are, right up at the top.
All right. Fair enough. I think
It's not
those
in alphabetical order. It's in the order that they are on NFL.
we are taking it easy on these guys this week, I think.
I think so. And now we got to come up with something wacky for them to do.
Okay. Well, let's see. If Philadelphia loses, Kyle has to...
Wait. Can I do this one?
Yeah, go ahead.
If Philly loses...
Mine was going to involve Kyle dogfighting himself or something.
Oh, okay.
I don't-
If Philly loses, Kyle's already got to do 2 of those Slurpees in an hour.
Right.
Let's make it let's make it 4 throughout, or he's got to do 2.5 hour. Let's make
Double or nothing.
Make it 4 in the first hour of the show.
Double or nothing.
4 in the first hour of the show if
Yes.
he loses. If not, he's only got to do 2. So I'm going to put 2 more Slurpees.
Okay,
as his loss.
double or 2. There's no double or nothing. He's doing them. He's doing 2 at least, no matter what.
2 more Slurpees. If
All right.
Philadelphia wins, Kyle's got to do
2 more Slurpees.
4
Oof.
Slurpees in the span of an hour.
That's like 8,000 calories of Slurpee.
Kyle don't care about calories. You seen him lately? What are we gonna do for George for New England? You know you know when you go to a football game, you see the fat guys in the crowd. They're all painted up like the team colors.
Right.
Why don't we make George do that? If New
Yeah.
England loses, he's got to come painted up with his body painted in a Tom Brady jersey.
How about a Tom Brady portrait?
He's got to have a Tom Brady portrait painted on him. Who's
Yes.
gonna get to do that?
It doesn't have to look great. It can just be an approximation of what Tom Brady would look like. There could be a gigantic penis hanging out of his mouth, for instance.
All right, so basically, George has to get a painting of Tom Brady on him and
Yes.
come in during the show.
That's right. That's right. I think that's fair. Or at least the jersey or a number or something.
I'm going to put Tom Brady body paint.
Okay.
Tom Brady body paint.
That's good.
And we'll leave it up to George to interpret.
That's more than fair, I think.
I think, you know? So
Indeed.
there we go. So you lock San Francisco, and if San Francisco San Francisco loses by some crazy twist of fate, you will not pick Buffalo again for the
That's
rest of
right.
the regular season.
That's right. Yes.
George has locked in New England. He will get a Tom Brady body paint, left to his interpretation. If I lose with Houston playing New York, I will come to the show and I will paint myself up like Doink the Clown. And if Kyle loses the Philly-Pittsburgh game, he's got Philly, he will do 2 more 41-ounce Slurpees, and he will do 4 of them total in the span of an hour.
That's good. And if Kyle does return next week, I'll put my balls to the wall. I have to do it at some point. So whenever Kyle comes back and does his Slurpee thing, I will do balls to the wall. How much does one of those big Slurpees cost?
We just completely lost the football picks.
tell me you're joking.
They didn't go. You know what though? We're not gonna have to do them again. I'll just go back. I'll watch the Ustream tonight. I'll put them in. But for some reason,
Just checking to make sure the Ustream was actually recording.
yeah, as long as the Ustream's going or I get the podcast, you know, I'll be able.
Oh man. Okay, we got bugs to work out of that. I guess that's all right.
It was telling me I had an error, so let me see if any of it got in there, and if not, I'll worry about it tonight at work.
All right.
But
All right. Not the end
new
of the world.
technology, you know, we'll get it. We'll make sure, you know, and you'll have a reference. You'll be able to go back and make sure I put everything in right if it didn't go in right.
We'll get it there. It'll be all right.
Let's see here. What am I looking for? It was working last night.
Certainly seemed like it was. I mean, it gave us the results. It may have counted wrong, but it made me the winner. So there had to be something good there. All right.
Yeah, it didn't go through. I'll put them in. I'll listen back tonight and I'll put them in. They'll
All
go.
right. Well, our Honduran refugees will have to be whipped again. You know, we keep beating them, and they just don't seem to ever improve. I don't know what the problem is there. I thought beating them was great motivation.
I see what the problem was.
What's that?
The apostrophe in won't screwed the whole thing up.
The apostrophe?
The apostrophe in won't screwed the whole thing up. I don't know how. It's supposed to. There's an escape in there that's supposed to convert that to the actual, thing it's supposed to do, and apparently it just didn't work.
Okay. Well, now we know. Knowing is half the battle.
Yeah, so that's exactly what happened. Is I put an apostrophe in, and it didn't like that. Yay for PHP! Apostrophes are a web designer's friend.
All right. Well, you folks at home can also watch our show on Ustream, as Joe's going to have to now. Ustream.tv/user/all-WNY radio. And that's us.
So
All
we
right.
still got about 20 minutes to kill here.
That's right.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, every week we here on the Noah's Ark Show bring you the Scott Stapp infection. Joe he's done something else magical on his computer to what did you do?
I just copied all the shit into a text file.
Oh, okay.
I
I guess that's
I didn't
not
want to
that
have to sit here for an hour going through 3 weeks of news.
I see. Okay, well, that's good. That was a good idea. Man, you really aren't bored at work.
I told you I am.
Okay, so we're going to pour over the snippets that Joe's copied over here for the Scott Stapp infection.
Yes, our dear Honduran friend Billy Board put these together for us.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What's his name?
His name's Billy. His last name's Board.
Billy Board?
Billy Board.
Billy Board.
Billy Board. That's our guy.
Doesn't sound Honduran.
It's his Americanized name. Anyway, and Billy's got some great stories for us, including Dave Grohl confirms that the Foo Fighters are going on hiatus.
Oh.
Dave Grohl says his band, the Foo Fighters, is officially taking a break. Grohl posted an open letter to the group's Facebook account Tuesday calling the band My Life, but noting, it's a good thing for all of us to go away for a while. Grohl told fans on Saturday at the Global Citizen Festival he didn't know when the band would play together again and affirmed that in the letter. Without making a big deal out of it, we don't have any shows after this. This is it, man, Grohl said at the concert in New York City Central Park. Honestly, I don't know when we're going to do it again, and this is the perfect place to do it.
I must say I've never been a Foo Fighters fan, but they have certainly been doing it for a while, and they've had a string of hits, man.
Absolutely. And Grohl says that he's not sure when the Foo Fighters will play again. He's now focused on his forthcoming Sound City documentary and album. A year in the making, it could be the biggest, most important project I've ever worked on, he said of the project. Get ready, it's coming. Marilyn Manson, as he hits the road with Rob Zombie for their Twins of Evil tour, is preparing to release a little more villainous music to the world. Manson tells Billy Board that he plans to release a special edition of his latest album, Born Villain, this fall, probably shortly before the holiday, which will have 2 and possibly 3 additional songs as well as special packaging. They're not just acoustic versions or demos of stuff like that, Manson says. They're really good songs that we were going to go on the album, but I didn't want the album to be too long. I knew there would be the opportunity to use them for something. Says the deluxe edition will include additional artwork and have a lot of things in it. There's going to be a book and stuff like that. Born Villain came out in May, debuted at number 10 on the charts, and spawned the singles No Reflection and Slow Motion.
I'm completely enraptured by this Foo Fighters video where apparently Dave Grohl is everyone.
Yeah, that's
except
cool
for
video.
Jack Black and Kyle Gass.
Yeah.
He's everyone.
He's the flight attendant in Tenacious D's flight, I guess.
This is weird. This is really weird.
TLC's Tion T-Boz Watkins is
Wait, was the guy from Foo Fighters just checking out his own boobs?
Probably.
I think he was. That's screwed up, man.
TLC's Tion T-Boz Watkins is heading to, where else? TLC, the former member of the R&B music group, will top-line her own docu-series, Totally T-Boz, working title, centered on Watkins' return to Los Angeles with the goal of restarting her music career, this time as a single mother and after recovering from a life-threatening brain tumor.
All right, good for her.
The Learning Channel, or TLC as it's now known, has ordered 4 episodes of Totally T-Boz, produced by John Doe Media, which has already begun filming. The series is being eyed for an early 2013 premiere.
Don't go chasing waterfalls, TLC.
It wasn't just Justin Bieber's fans who had Bieber fever as the teen idol kicked off his national tour in suburban Phoenix. Video posted on KTVK TV's website shows the pop music star vomiting twice on stage Saturday night during his sold-out concert at the Jobbing.com Arena in Glendale. He left the stage after each episode, but returned and even did an encore. KTVK reports Bieber's fans sang some of his songs while he was off stage, and later he apologized for being sick. Bieber later tweeted, "Great show, getting better for tomorrow's show, love you." He later added, "And milk was a bad choice."
Oh, was it really milk, though? I don't know. I don't know how much I trust Bieber anymore.
You'll like this one.
All right.
There was an award show and there was a fight. Can you guess which award show?
Let's see. Well, it probably wasn't the VMAs.
No.
Probably not the Emmys.
No.
Could it be the BET Awards?
You are absolutely correct. Atlanta police officers broke up an altercation Saturday evening between two groups at the 7th annual BET Hip Hop Awards, but no arrests were made. Police spokesman Carlos Campos said,
quote, niggas throwing bottles!
said officers responded to the scuffle around 7:30 p.m. in the backstage area of the awards show held at a downtown civic center. Campos said that there was no injuries or shots fired. Police have not released the identities of those involved in the scuffle. According to tweets from Hot 97 DJ Funkmaster Flex, there was pushing and shoving between camps belonging to Young Jeezy and Rick Ross.
This video's really fucked up, man.
It's really the first time you've seen this video.
It's the first time I've ever seen it.
Wow.
The Dave Grohl flight attendant was just flying outside of the plane with coffee. And now the real... it's blowing my mind, man.
All right.
The real Dave Grohl is going to fly the plane.
I got another question for you.
He's multi-talented, people.
Got another question for you.
Okay.
Who do you think is releasing a duet jazz album with Tony Bennett?
Lady Gaga.
You are correct, sir. Tony Bennett and Lady Gaga will team up once again, this time on a full album. The multi-generational duo who performed The Lady as a Tramp together on Bennett's Duets 2 album.
2 for 2, baby.
Intended to make a jazz album together. Of all things, she called me from New Zealand and said, I want to do a jazz album with you, Bennett told Rolling Stone. A lot of people don't know it, but she's a phenomenal jazz singer.
And I want to do it in New Zealand. So come on down.
Well, since your YouTube video is just about done, I've got my own here. So give me one second to get it queued up.
Okay, good.
We've got a single. We like to premiere singles every now and then in this section of the show.
That's true. We'll check them out every once in a while.
So this is
if it's something
might want to turn. I might. This is the new Soundgarden single, "Been Away Too Long."
They have been. It's a little chaotic, but it definitely has the old school Soundgarden feel to it.
Well, I will tell you that "Been Away Too Long," this single we're listening to right now, it is from the new album King Animal, which is in stores on my birthday, November 13th.
All right.
And you can pre-order the album right now at smarturl.it/KingAnimalPreorder.
I mean, fuck, it's better than Audio Slave.
That's true.
I don't know what it is about Audio Slave. It's one of those bands that I love the first CD, but I could only listen to it like maybe 10 times. And then after that, now it just sounds like nails on a chalkboard. And the whole second album, just the whole thing is nails on a chalkboard.
Well, this is the first time I'm listening to this. This is actually, it's actually pretty cool.
This is actually pretty rocking.
Definitely sounds good. Definitely does.
Man, some of the comments on this video for Learning to Fly are really, really twisted. Foo Fighters is the best band. If someone listens to another band, he needs to die.
Damn!
I mean, that's a little far there, buddy.
What if Alanis Morissette covers another band? How's that? Does that work?
She needs to die.
She needs to die because she covered in concert as a tribute to Green Day's crazy-ass frontman. She covered Basket Case.
Really?
Yeah, you want to hear it?
I definitely want to hear this.
This is interesting. I did check this out last night. This is from Jimmy Kimmel Live, weeknights at midnight on ABC. Yeah, fuck you, Matt Damon. We don't got time for your ass.
This is her new album. It's called Havoc and Bright Lights. It's out now, playing us off the air with a cover of Basket Case by Green Day. You can see the full performance at JimmyKimmelLive.com. Once again, Alanis Morissette. Good night.
Jimmy Kimmel's got about as much voice left as I do.
Yeah.
Is this for real?
This is for real. Check this out. It's actually not
Do you have the time
not horrible.
to listen to me whine
Wow.
about nothing and everything all at once?
This is the song that made me like Green Day back in the day.
Yeah. Have you checked out the new album yet?
I have not. No, I've fallen hard off the Green Day wagon, my friend.
I will tell you, I greatly enjoy the new album.
Yeah?
And I'll tell you what, you know that song we played a couple of weeks ago, Kill
Yeah,
the DJ?
that's right.
It's on the album. It's right after the song Let Yourself Go, which is the song that I really like. It's a song you keep seeing on ESPN and Fox during football.
Okay.
And I'll tell you, I mean, in the context of the album, that song does not sound bad. The only song that really sounds like it was tacked on was Oh Love, the first single they put out.
Oh,
that's
that
the last
old
track
love
on the
is
album.
terrible.
Yeah. But the rest of the album is really good. I really enjoy it. I didn't pay anything for it, but I really enjoy it. I got it for free with some Amazon credits. I got that, and I got the new No Doubt album, which is terrible.
This is sort of mind blowing. I gotta admit, it's not terrible. I sort of have a soft spot for when musicians cover songs and do them in a completely different way. I love that. We do a few songs like that. in the Skulls.
Absolutely.
And I think it's great if you can reimagine a song in a completely different genre or format than it was originally in. And this is actually a great example of that.
Exactly. I mean, I really enjoyed this. I checked it out last night.
Johnny
when I was-
Cash, towards the end of his life, when he was working with Rick Rubin, did all the American albums and did a bunch of cover songs. Of course, most well known for "Hurt," but there's a bunch of other ones on there. He did like Bob Marley's song, and he did a Soundgarden song. Speaking of Soundgarden, Rusty Chain. My
song was
Personal
really cool off
Jesus.
those-
He did a bunch of awesome songs.
You know what was a really cool song off those albums was the one Kyle always wants to cover, Ain't No Grave. That was a really cool song. Anyway, the reason Alanis Morissette did this, she says, let's see, we're all figuring it out, so let's just support the fragile artist. I've always been an advocate of and supporter of Billy Joe. To me, he deserves to be bowed down to, she said. He's been in this industry for a long time, and so for him to experience the consequence of a system that kind of set it up for him to fail is a travesty to me. And Morissette said
Wait,
she went.
what happened to Billy Joe?
You didn't hear about his big meltdown?
No.
He had his big meltdown at the iHeartRadio performance.
Why Billy Joe melt down? What's wrong, Billy Joe?
I think it's coming up later in the news, so
okay.
we'll get to it. But
all right.
Morissette said she wouldn't have been able to pull off the kind of rant Armstrong did. Basically, what happened was their set was apparently being cut short, and he was like, "Well, I'm not fucking Justin Bieber, and we got 1 fucking minute." And smashed the guitar on stage and was really angry, and that's basically the gist of it.
He had a hissy fit.
Exactly. That was at the iHeartRadio festival.
iHeartRadio is the internet radio thing you can turn into terrestrial radio on the internet. Is that what that is?
It's what the fuck is the big radio conglomerate? Clear Channel. Clear Channel. That's what that is.
It's Internet Clear Channel.
Morissette said that she
support your local radio, folks.
She wouldn't have been able to pull off the kind of rant that Armstrong did. I think he's braver than I am, she said. Also, women being upset are deemed hysterical. Men being upset are deemed valiant. It's a little more dangerous for a woman to flip out in that way.
I don't know. I might turn Billy Joe hysterical in that situation.
George Strait. Country superstar George Strait. The past few weeks have seen a lot of speculation concerning George Strait's press conference at the Country Music Hall of Fame. New tour, new album? Legendary singer answered those questions. Yes, he is about to embark on a final tour, but don't call it retirement, because it's not. It's been a hard decision for me to make, but as far as touring goes, I've decided I'm not going to tour anymore after the next 2 years. The MCA Nashville recording artist opened up the event by saying, however, the man with more chart toppers than any other artist is still hoping to add to his total of 59. Don't think I'm retiring, because I'm not. I'm still going to make records as long as Mike will let me, he said, referring to his label chief, Mike Dungan. I'm going to write, and after 2 years, when I've quit touring, if a special event comes up that I want to do, by all means, I will do it. But as far as the structured tour goes, at the last date of the 2014 goes, that will be it for touring.
Unless Mike wants me to go because,
Yeah. The Cowboy Rides Away tour will begin January 18th in Lubbock and continue through 2014. The tour takes its title from his 1985 top 10 single. It's kind of an obvious play on words, I think, he said. I couldn't think of a song that would be any better. It's a song that we have closed out our shows with for years. And by the way, if you're interested, this tour is coming to Buffalo with special guest Martina McBride, February 22nd at the First Niagara Center.
I thought that Mike put George Strait into retirement years ago, so that's great. Good for him.
Staten Island politician called Lady Gaga a slut for openly smoking what appeared to be marijuana at a recent concert, and following a day of outrage, repeated the slur on Tuesday.
Wait, you don't call somebody a slut for smoking weed. Wrong thing, man.
There's Gaga. Here's
Wrong epithet.
this. I would call her a slut. This slut is influencing many, many children. Borough President James Molinaro said on Monday, according to the Staten Island Advance. My niece has 2 daughters, 12 and 14.
Now they're both sluts.
They love this woman. Why? Why? So we have a job to do with these actresses, these actors, these ball players.
This is a meltdown.
They use drugs as it's nothing. We shouldn't praise them. We shouldn't honor them. We should really hit them.
That's what I did to my granddaughters.
To me, she's not an actress. She's a slut in the pure word, in the pure meaning of the word.
When you see a slut, you gotta hit her. Hit that slut.
At the time of comments, Molinaro was pointing to photos of the not actress lighting what appears to be a marijuana cigarette at an Amsterdam concert last week. The photos were displayed alongside a poster that said, "Stop glorifying drug use in the media."
That's right. He said these actresses, actors, ball players.
I didn't even read this before I put it in there. It's just that's great.
What is he now? He's a politician?
He is he's the borough president of Staten Island.
Borough president's got to choke a bitch. Hit that slut.
All right. You got the flusher ready there?
I can get it.
All right. Well, you get it ready while I'm doing this. With a string of gold albums, a hit TV series, and the signature Moon River, Andy Williams was the voice of the 1960s, although not the 60s we usually hear about. The old cliche says that if you remember the 1960s, you weren't there, the singer once recalled. Well, I was there all right, but my memory of them is blurred, not by any drugs I took, but by the relentless pace of the schedule I set myself.
Fucking Boy Scout.
Williams died Tuesday, September 25th, at his home in Branson following a year-long battle with the disease. His Los Angeles-based publicist, Paul Schefrin, said Wednesday he was 84.
You know what they say about the 1960s? If you lived past your 60s, you weren't really there.
All right, here's the story now on Billy Joe Armstrong.
All right,
Green
Billy
Day's
Joe.
Billy Joe Armstrong is headed to treatment for substance abuse. Sunday's announcement by the band's rep comes after the 40-year-old frontman had a meltdown on stage at the iHeartRadio Music Festival in Las Vegas on Friday. As Green Day was wrapping up its performance during the All-Star 2-Day concert, Armstrong profanely complained that the band's time was being cut short.
Can I interject one thing right now? iHeartRadio, stupidest name for anything I've ever heard in my life.
Absolutely. 1 minute left. 1 minute fucking left. You're going to give me fucking 1 minute? I'm not fucking Justin Bieber, you fucks, he yelled, although Bieber was not part of the night's festivities. Armstrong smashed his guitar before leaving the stage. In a statement to the Associated Press, Green Day apologized to those they offended at the iHeartRadio Festival and said its set was not cut short by Clear Channel, the host of the 2-day event.
No, I mean, that's it. That's all he said, and he's got to go to substance abuse. Come on. We all know Billy Joe gave up fucking meth in the early 90s. This is ridiculous. The guy clearly was not anything. He just had a hissy fit. How are you going to blame the drugs? He's not a slut.
Right?
You can't just call him a slut and pack him off to the hospital.
All right. Well, not only are the Foo Fighters going on hiatus, but after years of party rocking together, the members of LMFAO are apparently taking a hiatus to pursue solo projects.
What is that band? I've heard them several times over the years, basically from doing the Staph infection, and I can't figure out what the fuck it is. What is LMFAO? I thought that was laughing my fucking ass off.
It is.
The computer shorthand
It
that
is.
the kids use these days?
It is, but it is also a band, and they do a song called Party Rocking. They do I'm Sexy and I Know It.
Is it like rap or is it rock or
it's
is
kind of like
what are we looking at with these guys?
I don't know how the fuck to explain it. It's like kind of dance music kind of shit.
It's dance.
But you've seen the Eminem commercials where he, the red Eminem takes off his shell and the song plays. I'm sexy and I know it. That's them.
That's a real band?
That's LMFAO. Yes. In a new interview with the Australian Associated Press, Red Foo reveals that he and nephew Sky Blue have no immediate plans to record together. I feel like we've been doing this for so long, 5 or 6 years, says a 37-year-old, and we're kind of like saying, well, let's just do what's natural and just kind of explore that instead of like forcing it all the time.
I want to see if I can actually find a video of these guys.
Well, the big popular song is Sexy and I Know It, or Sexy and You Know It, or some shit like that.
Yeah, I tried to do that. They wanted me to sign in. I don't sign in for anybody. We'll try this one. Okay, is this is apparently a commercial. No, this is really the video. What is going on with these videos today?
I know, right?
Get to the fucking song already.
Well, let's go on a little bit here, but the 3 surviving members of Led Zeppelin regrouped in London for a press conference to mark the launch of Celebration Day, the upcoming film of the band's 2007 one-off reunion concert at the O2 Arena. Celebration Day will premiere in London, New York, Los Angeles, and other major cities ahead of a worldwide theatrical release by Omniverse Vision on 1,500 screens in more than 40 territories, October 17th. Swan Song / Atlantic will then release the concert on DVD, CD, Blu-ray, vinyl, and digitally November 19th.
All right, I've heard this song.
Yeah. Robert Plant, Jimmy Page, and John Paul Jones were in jovial form at the event, which followed a media screening of the 2-hour concert movie directed by Dick Carruthers. But they sidestepped any questions from the floor that made reference to future reunions, apart from one moment near the end of the conference when Plant answered the shouted question, "Will you do it again?" by simply asking, "With you?"
I think we firmly established that Robert Plant can't hit those notes anymore. Let him do the folk thing with Alison Krauss and leave the man alone. Led Zeppelin is dead. Forget it. Move on, people. It's over.
Fiona Apple was arrested.
Yes! Fiona, she wins. Can we make her our winner? I love Fiona. Fiona's going to be in Buffalo next week.
I love Fiona, too. She's going to be in Buffalo.
Next Tuesday, Fiona Apple, Kleinhans Music Hall. Kleinhans Music Hall. It is the day after my birthday. I will fucking be there. I can't wait.
I have not seen Fiona Apple.
I love Fiona Apple.
I cannot take time off from work. I took a day off last week.
I love her so much. This whole thing, I didn't even know she was a hash smoker. This makes me love her even more.
She was arrested Wednesday in a Texas town notorious for catching celebrities with drugs. According to TMZ, hashish and a small amount of marijuana was found on the singer's tour bus during a search in a small border town of Sierra Blanca. The Shadowboxer singer was arrested for possession and released Thursday on a $10,000 bond after spending the night in a Hudspeth County jail where Willie Nelson, Snoop Dogg, and social network actor Arnie Hammer have all been held in the last 2 years. A leaked mugshot photo shows Apple wearing a striped black and white prison garb. By the way, if my last name was Hammer, I would not name my kid Army. You're fucking baking soda.
That's like naming your band LMFAO.
All right, I got a couple more to get through, and then we can
Willie
wrap
Nelson just keeps coming back to Sierra Blanca. He just forgets. Oh shit, you guys again?
All right,
oh,
I got a couple more to get through, and then we can we can kill the show. But
all right,
the Beach Boys gather at the Grammy Museum September 18th to celebrate their 50th anniversary with a Platinum Award presentation, a museum fundraising meet and greet with donors, and an acoustic performance to follow a half-hour Q&A. But the undercurrent in the area where the museum had housed the exhibit Good Vibrations 50 Years of the Beach Boys concerned the future of the band in the wake of lead singer Mike Love announcing a day earlier that he was jettisoning Brian Wilson, Al Jardine, and David Marks to resume touring as the Beach Boys with bandmate Bruce Johnson and his regular band. 2 shows in London, September 27th at the Royal Albert Hall and September 28th at Wembley Arena, will apparently wrap up the reunion. The band members kept the focus on the tour, their history, and the exhibit, but the members of the musicians' camps found that the timing of Love's announcement, at the very least, curious. Several people close to the Beach Boys said they could have easily added another dozen dates in the UK. In addition, Wilson has continued writing for a follow-up album to That's Why God Made the Radio and has 4 songs in the vein of the album suite of Strange World / From There Back Again / Pacific Coast Highway. The only thing certain about future releases from the reunited Beach Boys is the live album that Capitol will release in 2013. In his press release issued on September 17th, Love said the 50th anniversary tour was designed to be a set tour with a beginning and end to mark the special 50-year milestone for the band. The tour did a lot to restore the band's image, which has been pockmarked by decades of legal squabbles and infighting over the band's direction. And finally, Former Grateful Dead drummer Mickey Hart has found himself in trouble with the law. The Hollywood Reporter confirms that an arrest warrant has been issued for the musician after he was accused of assaulting a person at a Mickey Hart band show on September 8th. The issue occurred at Terrapin Hill Farm in Harrodsburg, Kentucky, and was first reported by TMZ.
This is too much. Just leave the country, Mickey. You don't deserve this.
Details,
we all love you.
Details surrounding the attack are not yet clear, but the alleged victim reportedly filed a police report and initiated assault charges shortly after the event. According to local police, it is standard practice to issue a warrant when the alleged victim decides to press charges. Hart issued a statement on Thursday denying the allegation. I'm totally baffled by a bizarre claim of assault by me coming out of Kentucky, the home of bluegrass and the state I love dearly. Any accusation or claim of assault against me is completely false and without basis whatsoever. I played drums on Shakedown Street, but I never expected to be the victim or the crime. Hart is best known for playing for the Dead from 1967 until the group disbanded in 1995.
It's pretty funny how he threw in some song references to Grateful Dead in his statement. You're at a Mickey Hart band show. Somebody gets their ass, but they're like, dude, Mickey Hart just kicked my ass. They're like, dude, you fought a tree.
Yeah, exactly.
And you lost.
Exactly.
It wasn't Mickey Hart. It was a sapling.
I mean, okay, so basically that's, we'll call Fiona Apple the winner. She's in town next Tuesday at Klein Hands. No, I wish you the happiest of happy birthdays next Monday.
Thank you kindly, sir. And I can't wait to see good Fiona there, and I hope she's high as a kite the entire time.
I am a fan of Fiona Apple. I do enjoy her music very much.
I love Fiona. I love the new album, Idler Wheel. It's a killer album. And,
I haven't checked it out yet, but I certainly will.
I think it's genius. It's a completely weird album. It's unlike anything really that she's made, and it's a great musical statement. She should be more popular, and I'm glad that she isn't.
I like Fiona Apple, but to me, she kind of dropped off the map for a little bit after her first album.
Totally.
And then I came across her on accident at some point. I used to illegally download music. I don't anymore.
No, you did?
I used to.
Oh,
I used to. And
one of the Joe.
But one of the things I like to do is I like to get what's called the what are those called? But basically the CDs that DJs get. They're promo only.
Sure.
Promo only. I like to download those. And
okay.
I came across the song. What was that single from her last album?
From Extraordinary Machine?
I think
was
so.
Was it the song Extraordinary Machine?
No, it wasn't the song Extraordinary Machine. It was crap. I forget what it was. But I came across the single. I'm like, man, this is really good.
Yeah, that was a great album, Extraordinary Machine, but it was very much like When the Pawn, and which were both a little different than her first album title, but very good albums, very instrumental and layered, just thick. And then Idler Wheel is completely the opposite. Almost no instrumentation whatsoever, all vocally driven. And the woman has the voice to pull it off. I'll tell you, it's a fantastic album. I completely recommend it. It has the Noah Goki seal of approval.
The single, by the way, that reminded me that Fiona Apple exists was called "Parting Gift" and was from the album Extraordinary Machine.
That's a great.
It was a really great song. And I'm like, wow, I should be listening to this artist more. She is very talented.
She's great. She really is great. All of her albums are great. She's in no rush to make new music. She really doesn't give a shit about the industry or about touring or anything. And this is her first tour, and I think 6 or 7 years.
There's a mobile game, and you can also play it on Facebook. It's called Song Pop. And every time I'm playing one of the categories and Fiona Apple comes up, I'm like, yeah, Fiona, I know that song.
And you know what? Don't fuck it up, people of Buffalo. We were talking earlier about how people come through and then they never come back because people don't show up at Klein Hands. Go. This is the show to see.
I will not be able to make the show, but I urge every one of you to please get out, support local and national artists.
Go to Klein Hands.
Local and national artists. And real quick before we go.
Not only is it Fiona Apple, but it's probably the best room in Western New York at Klein Hands, which is right by where I used to live. And just awesome. Klein Hands.
Real quick before we go, I want to plug 2 things. One is this Sunday at 2 p.m. on Board Wrestling Fan Radio, we will have the original Doink the Clown, Matt Bourne, on for an interview. So don't miss that. Right at the top of the show at 2 p.m. Eastern.
Fantastic.
And one more thing is I do want to acknowledge that STEM is having their farewell show December 1st at the Town Ballroom here in Buffalo.
I saw that the farewell was in quotes, though. It was like a maybe. I mean, how many farewell shows are these guys going to do?
Well,
Didn't they
this is
just
true.
have a
This
farewell
is true,
show?
but listen, that according to George, it was a farewell show, and then they did like 6 more shows after that. But
I think
this
they've
is-
already
this
had
is
like 6
supposedly-
farewell shows.
This is supposedly the farewell show, and this not only do they have
Alright.
not only do they have the current lineup, they're going to have old members. Stephen Crawl is going to be there, T.J. Frost, and believe it or not, they're going to have Louis Penque doing songs from the first 2 albums.
All right.
So that's going to be cool. I'm looking forward to that. It's December 1st, Town Ballroom. It's STEM, and the special guests on the show. His name was Yesterday,
Very
and
cool.
our dear friends, the Whiskey Reverb.
Oh, yes. Love them. Love the Reverb. If for nothing else, go to see them. Because they're one of the best bands going right now in Western New
I'm
York.
definitely going to try and make it out to that show. I was a STEM fan way back in the day. I kind of got out of them, but to see them play some of the old songs would be really cool. Plus, I like the singles that they've put out over the years. Plus, Joe Caffarella, Mario Nobilo. They're 2 of the coolest people I've met in music.
Salt of the earth, gentlemen.
Absolutely. So I'm really looking forward to, at least getting to see them one more time. And I did see Joe put out a note detailing why he's getting out of STEM, why STEM is ending. And that's basically that his heart isn't in metal anymore. He wants to go pursue other genres of music. So,
Oh, God bless him.
I might buy Joe's country album when it comes out.
Okay. We start late, we end late, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for listening.
Good night!
We will be back next week. No, not maybe. I said yes. We will be back next week.
716-402-4218. That's our phone number.
That's right. 402-4218. You can call anytime. Leave us a voicemail. We'll play it here on the show. You can send us an email, noahsark@allwnyradio.com. Of course, you can find our episodes of this and previous shows on Ustream and on YouTube. Different U's. One's a U, the letter U. The other one's a U, like a while U. I don't know which one's which, but if you go onto this interweb thing, you can probably find it that way. Facebook.com/Noah's Ark Show is where you can find us on the Book of Face. We love you dearly. We'll be back next week. We'll probably have a Band of the Week at that time. We will announce that
Probably.
later. Most likely.
If not,
Until
I'll
then,
bring Doink the Clown with me.
go to see Fiona next week. Go to see STEM and Reverb in a little bit. And we love you. Good luck. Have fun.